A case that alleges weaponization of the government. Pro-life organizations Obria Group and Obria Medical Group's Pacific Northwest are suing the Attorney General of Washington State over what they say is an unconstitutional and unlawful investigation into the organization's privileged records and materials. They say they've been singled out because of their views. Earlier, we spoke with Obria Pacific Northwest's Executive Director, River Sussman, and Alliance Defending Freedom's Senior Counsel, Tim Garrison, to learn more. River, Tim, thank you so much for joining us today. River, I'd like to start with you. What compelled your organization to take legal action against the Attorney General's office? What specific events transpired to make that happen?
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie. The Attorney General filed or delivered a civil investigative demand a year and a half ago, which required over 1,500 pages of documentation of personal and private information, board members, like meeting notes, information about employees, information about clients. It was beyond the reach. And not only that, it was for 13 years, going back to 2010, which is well beyond the statute of limitations in Washington, which is 4 years. We've been in existence for since 1984, serving the community free of charge with millions of dollars of services and supplies, materials, and such. And they have nothing that they're basing this on. There's been no complaint. There's no evidence for this. It's overreach. It's abuse in the office.
And River, how has that impacted your team's ability to do their business?
Well, it takes a lot of time to come up with that much documentation, and it's also disturbing to feel attacked by the administration of the state that you live in. So, I mean, we continue to do what we do, and yet it's a wet blanket. It takes a lot of time and effort.
And Tim, you're representing the clients in this case, and what specific constitutional rights do you believe that have been violated in this case?
Sure, thank you. We believe that this civil investigative demand, and because of its breadth and depth, and as River mentioned, the length for which this investigation goes back to, it violates several constitutional principles. They're targeting the Obria Group and Obria Pacific Northwest because of their free speech and their speech concerning their pro-life views. That targeting is unconstitutional. It also comes after their associations because they're asking for information about people that they contract with, their volunteers, their donors. It is a violation of their Fourth Amendment protection against unreasonable searches and seizures, and it's a violation of the 14th Amendment in that it deprives them of the equal protection of the law.
And could you elaborate on the evidence or lack thereof provided by the Attorney General's office in their pursuit of this information?
So far as we know, there is no basis for this investigation. We've been apprised of no complaint that's been filed against Obria. We're aware of no factual basis to initiate this investigation. What we do know is that Attorney General Bob Ferguson has a long and well-documented history of hostility toward the pregnancy health movement, and we think that's being manifested in these demands.
And so, turning back to you, River, what do you hope to achieve with this lawsuit?
Thank you, Stephanie. The men and women of Washington State, like the entire country, deserve to have information and services available to them at will. What they're doing here is a violation of the ability to have services available. These are inalienable rights to get information about the choices that you make. What do we want to do? We would like to set a precedent for don't cross this line. We have the right to be here. We have the right to do the services that we have. We have the right to free speech. We have the right to our faith-based pro-life position. And
thank you so much. And Tim, I'd just like to finish with you. Could you explain a bit more about the basis of the claim that your clients are being unfairly targeted due to their pro-life stance?
Well, it's because there's no other conceivable basis to initiate this investigation. The services that Obria provides are provided at no cost to their clients. We're aware of no complaints that have been lodged against this organization. And on the other side, we have a public official in Bob Ferguson, again, who has expressed time and again his hostility towards pro-life organizations such as Obria. And so in the absence of any explanation for him initiating this investigation, we look to the obvious, and that's his hostility towards what we're doing.
Tim Garrison and River Sussman, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having us.